Hey guys, good afternoon. Sam here with another session of Common English Expressions A to Z. Today is going to be our session number 11, I think. So we finished our E expressions and we're going into the F expressions today. Hey Amin, good to see you. Hi Shahab, good afternoon to you guys. So we're going to wait a little bit for more people to join. Meanwhile, I'm going to talk a little bit about how you can find my videos. Hey, Khasarach, I'm sorry if I say your name wrong, but thank you for joining in. Hi, Hamid Reza, good afternoon. Hey, Sarah, good to see you again. Good to see you. Thank you guys for joining in. Today I'm trying to see if I can get more viewers doing this at 5 p.m. So if you guys rather have these live sessions at 5 p.m. instead of 11 a.m., please let me know. If you think it's better for you. So is the time changing? I haven't made a final decision yet. But if I see more people show up at 5 p.m., I will change it to 5 p.m. Hey, Some, good to see you. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me again. And hi to Elok Naz. Thank you very much for joining me. So if you guys haven't watched any of my sessions before, during my sessions I will talk about common expressions in the English language we can use to talk about different things. If you've missed them from before, they're going to be posted on YouTube. I think session 2 got uploaded as well. So check out the English Turbo channel to see the older sessions. Hi to Sarah Badni and Ahmad and Fariba. Thank you guys for joining me. Good afternoon, guys. You guys are saying 5 p.m. is better for you? Okay. Yeah, so I will, at the end of this session, I will probably ask you guys if you think 5 or 11 a.m. And then maybe tomorrow I will also try at 5. Give it 2 days and see. Because you're at work and okay, I see. Well, the videos will be on the Instagram page for at least 24 hours, so you can watch them. If you're at work, you can watch them when you get home. Yeah, but I will probably bring them to 5 since a lot of you guys are saying that. Hey Elahe, good to see you. Thank you for joining in. Hi Eli Wash SPTORG. Sorry if I say your name wrong, but thank you for joining me. Good afternoon to you guys. Like I was saying, our session 2 got uploaded onto YouTube. If you guys missed it, check it out. I forgot what the expressions were about, but I think we were in the A topics. There were a lot of A topics because we talked about how we can ask for different things. So be sure to check it out if you missed it. You think 5 is better too, Fariba? Okay, the new time is, it seems like a lot of people are saying the new time is better. So tomorrow our session is probably going to be at 5 o'clock too. I will decide at the end of this session, okay? All right, guys. So I'm going to get started today with talking about facial expressions. Okay, now when we're talking to somebody, there's a lot of ways we can tell what they're thinking from the way their face looks. Sometimes we want to describe this for other people, so these are some useful expressions that we can use to talk about, what somebody looks like. Okay, what their expression was or what their reaction was to something. Hey Ali Rustai, thank you for joining me, and hi to Sogoli 329 2018. Good to see you again. Hey Mahasti and Look Up 4, thank you for joining me. It's good to see you guys again. So I'm going to turn off my comments, guys. If you have any questions, please write them down so you don't forget and ask me afterwards. Don't worry too much about taking notes. I'm going to post my notes after the session is over, okay? So here we go. Turning off comments now. All right. As I was saying, we're going to talk about different facial expressions today and some phrases, some expressions we can use to talk about, okay? So the first one I wanted to talk about is when somebody is smiling, they have a big smile on their face, you say, she has a broad smile on her face. She has a broad smile on her face. This means that the person is really happy and she's, having a huge smile, a clear smile on her face. These expressions are useful for when we're talking about, we're telling somebody the story of what happened. So we're talking about the past. For example, you have a surprise birthday party for your best friend. And, you're telling somebody about it. They ask you, oh, how did she react? You say, she had a broad smile on her face. She was smiling the whole time. She was really happy about it. Or maybe, you are really happy about something and somebody asks you, hey, why do you have a broad smile on your face? You say, oh, something good happened. Okay, so this expression, whenever we use it, it means somebody is really happy and they're smiling a lot. Okay, these expressions about facial expressions are really useful if you guys like to read a lot of English books, because they use them to describe how a person looks at certain times. And now the next expression is the opposite. If somebody is sad, you say, he was wearing a frown. He was wearing a frown. So, maybe something happened to them. They're not feeling good. For some reason, they're sad. They lost, their favorite book. So somebody asks you, hey, did you see Tom yesterday? How was he doing? You can answer, oh, I don't think he was doing very well. He was wearing a frown. He was wearing a frown. So a frown is the opposite of a smile. A smile is happy, a frown is sad. When somebody is sad, you say they are frowning. You can use this in present tense as well. If you see somebody who is frowning, you can say, why are you wearing a frown? Instead of asking them, why are you frowning? You can say, why are you wearing a frown? Okay, so very useful expression if you want to ask why somebody is sad, or if you want to talk about, someone, how they were reacting to something. Maybe you're talking about your friend and something sad happened. They just told them that their grandma passed away. And you're saying, yeah, when he heard the news, he was wearing a frown. He was sad. The next expression is when somebody feels some shock or pain. Somebody feels like a pain, or they hear something painful. We say in English, they grimace. They grimace or they wince. So you might read this in a book, like, she hit her knee on the table and she grimaced. She grimaced in pain. Okay. Grimacing is that expression you have when you suddenly get hit by something and you're like, ow. So something like that is like grimacing. So, when you're telling a story about what happened, you can say, when the bee stung her, she winced in pain. She winced in pain. Or you can use this expression if somebody says something they're not supposed to and you just grimace because you know something bad is going to happen. Like, for example, somebody told you a secret and you're not supposed to tell it to anyone, but you forget and you tell someone and then you grimace immediately afterwards because you remember you weren't supposed to say it. So we can use this by saying she grimaced or she gave a grimace. She gave a grimace. He winced. Okay, so whenever somebody is hurt by something they're not expecting, that's the expression on their face. They grimace or they wince. The next expression is when somebody is angry at you, and your parents might have done this when you were little kids. When you did something wrong, your parents, they would be looking at you really angrily. You would say, they gave me a dirty look. They gave me a dirty look. So for some reason, maybe you had a fight with somebody and you're sitting somewhere and they're looking at you really angrily. You can say, he's giving me a dirty look. So this is a really useful expression. Maybe you walk into a room and you notice somebody is looking at somebody else angrily. So you say, hey, why are you giving him a dirty look? Why are you giving him a dirty look? So you're asking, why are you looking at him angrily? Or you want to talk about something that happened. So you want to say, I was telling a story and then I noticed my wife was giving me a dirty look, so I stopped. Okay, so I was telling a story I shouldn't have told, and I stopped telling the story. It's a really useful expression. I want to talk about somebody looking at someone angrily. You can use it more often than you might think. It's very handy. Okay, sometimes you're doing something and you're not aware, and you see somebody looking at you angrily, and you say, hey, what's with the dirty look? Like, what am I doing? What's with the dirty look? Why are you looking at me angrily? What am I doing? Okay. The next expression is when somebody thinks they are better than other people. Okay. So somebody thinks that they're higher than you or they're better than you. We say that he looked down his nose at me. He looked down his nose at me. This expression is used when we think somebody thinks they're better than someone else or us. We can use it for other people as well. So, for example, if somebody isn't treating you with respect, if somebody is acting like you're far below them, you can say, he's looking down his nose at me. He's looking down his nose at me. Usually people who are rich, they look down their nose at people who are poor, or people who have some kind of a position, they look down at other people. This is an expression we use when we want to say someone has too much pride. Okay, when we want to say somebody is too prideful, we can say that they look down their nose at other people. So we can use this expression when we want to describe how somebody is. So, when we want to talk about how somebody has a lot of pride, we can say, he looks down his nose on other people. It means that he thinks he's better than everybody else. Or we want to describe how somebody acted towards us. When I went to the hotel, they looked down on me because I was wearing, old clothing. So because they thought I was poor, they were looking down their nose on me. Okay? Now, in the UK, in Europe, and in America in general, when people are surprised, they raise their eyebrows. So they go like, they raise their eyebrows in surprise. So when we say somebody raised their eyebrows, what we mean is that they were surprised. So for example, we can say, she raised her eyebrows when she saw me. She raised her eyebrows when she saw me. That means that she was surprised when she saw me. So her eyebrows were raised. So she went, she raised her eyebrows. Or, you throw a surprise party for somebody, and when they come in, they're like, wow. You can say he raised his eyebrows when he saw that there was a surprise. Okay. So raising your eyebrows in Western culture, it means that you are surprised about something or you're shocked about something. You know, you didn't expect something to happen, so your eyebrows go up. You go, wow. Okay. Now the next expression is kind of like talking about a broad smile. When we say somebody is beaming from ear to ear, beaming from ear to ear, it means their smile is so big that it goes from ear to ear. So, you know, this is an expression we use when somebody is really happy and, you know, they're laughing or they have big smiles on their face. So we can say, for example, the children were beaming from ear to ear. The children were beaming from ear to ear. When something good happens to somebody and we want to describe them to somebody else. So for example, maybe you just won the lottery, okay? And your mom calls, it's like, hey, how are you feeling? You say, I'm beaming from ear to ear. I'm smiling so big. I'm so happy. I'm beaming from ear to ear, okay? Now, this next expression is when we want to use, when we want to ask somebody why they look sad, okay? We say, why the long face? Why the long face? Now, if you notice your friend is sad or somebody you know is sad, even a stranger, you can use this expression to ask them, why the long face? It means, why do you look sad? So if somebody has long face, if your friend says, hey, I saw Tom today, he had a long face, it means that he looked sad. Usually the way we use this expression is in its question form. When we see somebody and we want to ask them about it, we say, why the long face? But you might hear this the other way, just to describe someone. So you might hear them say, Tom had a long face on today, okay? So it means that he looked sad. It's a really good way of opening a conversation if you don't know what else to say. Maybe you see somebody and you want to know what's wrong. Instead of just asking, hey, what's wrong? You can say, why the long face? What happened? Why the long face? Now, the next expression is when somebody is really angry and their face is changing colors. You can say, he was purple with rage. He was purple with rage. Sometimes we can just say red instead of purple. He was red with rage. Purple is a little bit higher. So if somebody is really angry, their face is changing color, or you just want to talk about how angry they were, you can say they were purple with rage. So maybe somebody steals your car, and when you find out you're just really angry, you're really mad, and you say, and somebody sees you, they say, wow, he's purple with rage, he's really, really angry. The last expression is used fairly often when we want to refer to somebody looking at us angrily again. So remember, we used an expression that somebody is giving you a dirty look. That means that they're looking at you angry. This one is kind of the same. When somebody is really angry at you, you can say, if looks could kill, I'd be dead right now. If looks could kill, I would be dead right now. I'd be dead right now. Usually, because everybody knows this expression, people just say the first part, okay? So, for example, you and your friend are talking. Your friend asks you, was your mom angry at you? You say, man, if looks could kill. That means that, she was looking at me so angrily. Or you can finish it. You can say, if looks could kill, I'd be dead right now. She was looking at me so angrily. She was so mad at me that, if she could kill me with her look, I would be dead right now. There is this expression is sometimes used to talk about somebody who looks good, but the meaning, the proper meaning of it is when you're talking about somebody who is angry, who's trying to kill you with their look, okay? So maybe you did something bad and you're telling your friend about it. You know, you say, yes, so I broke my wife's favorite dish. You know, I was washing it or I was putting it away and it dropped and I broke it. And then my wife walked in and, oh man, if looks could kill, or if looks could kill, I'd be dead right now. You know, she looked at me so angrily. If she could kill me with her eyes, I would be dead right now. Okay? So be careful with this last expression. Like I said, sometimes it is used to talk about how good somebody looks, but its meaning is, you know, how angry somebody looks. Okay? So be careful how you use it. All right. I'm going to turn on comments. If you guys have any questions about these expressions, you can go ahead and ask them. So for those of you who are just joining in, we talked about some different facial expressions and when it's appropriate to use each one. If somebody, you know, has a big smile on their face, you can say they have a broad smile on their face, you know, a big smile. Or you can say they are beaming from ear to ear. If somebody is looking at you angrily, you can say they're giving you a dirty look. Or that, you know, you can, if you're talking about it, you can say, if looks could kill, I'd be dead right now. It means somebody's looking at you angry. If somebody isn't happy, they're sad, you know, you can say they are wearing a frown, or they have a long face. And usually we use long face to ask a question why something is wrong, if something is wrong, okay? And when people are surprised, usually they raise their eyebrows. So we say, you know, she raised her eyebrows in surprise. She raised her eyebrows when she saw me, you know, she was so surprised, okay? So, a frown, F-R-O-W-N. I'll post it up, Sarah, but it's pronounced frown. Frown. There's a W in there. It's not exactly, you know, I know it sounds more like it's F-R-O-N, but there's a W before the O. So frown. Frown. Okay? All right, guys. So if you guys are just joining in, thank you for joining me. Good afternoon. It's really good to see you guys. Yeah, that's how you spell it. Khasarach. I should probably just call you Sarah. Okay, that'll probably be better. Okay. So if you guys are joining me, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. In these live sessions, I'm doing common English expressions A to Z. We are on our F topics today. Hopefully we'll be finished with the F topics by the end of today. Probably not, actually. There's probably a couple of more F topics I'm going to talk about. The next topic we're going to talk about is when we feel tired. When we want to talk about feeling tired, we can use some expressions, you know, to tell somebody that we are tired, okay? Hey, Parvane RHS, thank you for joining in. Good day to you. I hope you guys are having a great day. So if there's no questions about the previous expressions, we can start talking about expressions we use when we want to talk about feeling tired. So I'm going to turn off comments for now. If you guys have any questions, please write them down and you can ask me after, okay? Here we go. So sometimes, you know, we work really hard, we just had a really long day, or we play hard, we just feel really, really tired, okay? And we want to tell other people that we're feeling tired. So, you know, a really easy way of doing it is just saying, I'm tired. If you want to do, you know, if you don't want to use any expressions, it's okay. You can just say, I'm tired. It's pretty neutral. You can just say it at any time you feel tired. Now, if you want to say I'm really tired, you can say I'm wiped out. I'm wiped out. So you can use this expression if you have had a really long day, you know, you've worked all day long and you're just really tired, okay? And somebody asks you, hey, how you doing? You say, I'm wiped out. I've been working all day, okay? So I'm wiped out. You can use this expression to talk about, other people who are tired too. You can probably say, Tom looks really wiped out. He probably had a long day. He probably was working all day, okay? Or if you exercise, if you were exercising, you were doing something really difficult, you can say, I'm wiped out. I exercise, I just ran 10 kilometers. I'm wiped out, okay? So very useful expression if you were working really hard, if you were exercising really hard, if you just want to say, I'm really tired. Maybe you were driving for a long distance. So at the end of the drive, you say, man, I am wiped out. I just want to go to sleep, okay? A similar expression to wiped out is I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. So exhausted is a little bit more formal. Wiped out is a bit informal. You use it with your friends in a casual setting, with your family, with somebody you're comfortable with. Exhausted is a little bit more formal. So if somebody asks you, how are you feeling? You can say, I'm exhausted. I have been working for 10 hours. I am just exhausted. Or maybe I just drove for 8 hours straight. I am exhausted. You can also change the subject. If you want to talk about somebody else who looks like they're tired or who you think is tired, you can use this word. So somebody comes home and says, hey, I just worked for 8 hours. You say, oh, wow, you must be exhausted. You must be exhausted. You must be really tired. Somebody, your friend calls you. You're like, hey, what have you been up to? He says, oh, I just finished working out for 2 hours. You're like, wow, you must be really exhausted. You must be really tired. So we can use it for ourselves or we can use it for other people. It's a little bit more formal than saying somebody is wiped out, you're wiped out or whatever. So if you're at work, maybe it's better to use exhausted. But saying I'm wiped out isn't impolite, okay? It's not impolite. It's just less formal. It's more informal. Now, the next expression, when we're so tired, we just want to go to bed, we say, I'm off to bed, okay? So, I'm off to bed. So maybe you get home after a really long day and you just say, I'm exhausted. I'm off to bed. I just want to go sleep, okay? You can change the subject here to talk about somebody else who went to bed. So, your mom asks you, hey, where's your sister? Oh, she went off to bed. She went off to bed. Okay? So when you want to talk to somebody who is really tired and just went to sleep, you can use this expression. You can combine it with the previous expressions. So you can say, she was wiped out and went off to bed. So she was wiped out and went off to bed. Maybe you're working in a graveyard shift, so you're working a night shift, and your coworker comes there and says, hey man, I'm exhausted, I'm off to bed, I'm going to take a nap, I'll be back in 2 hours or something. Okay? So these expressions, you can combine them with each other or you can use them by themselves. Another way of saying I'm going to bed, when you want to use it informally, you can say, I need to crash out. I need to crash out. So this is informal. It's more formal than I need to crash out. This is a slang expression. We use this with our family, with our friend, in a casual setting, okay? So, you get home, your parents are like, hey, how was work? You're like, oh, I had a long day, I'm exhausted. I just need to crash out, okay? I just need to get some sleep. Or you're driving, and you're getting really sleepy. You tell your friend beside you, hey, can you drive for a bit? I need to crash out. I need to sleep a little bit, okay? So whenever we're in a formal setting, when we want to talk to somebody formally, we just say, I'm off to bed. When we're talking to our friend, we're talking less formally, we can just say, I need to crash out. We can use this, we can change the subject again. Like your friend is driving and you notice he's really tired. You say, hey, you need to crash out, man. Let me drive. Okay? So take a nap. You look exhausted. You need to crash out. Just let me drive for a bit. Okay? The next expression is usually used for talking about when we talk to children. When kids are really tired and we want to tell them, okay, that's enough. We say, time for bed. You should go to sleep. Time for bed. This is usually used when an adult is talking to some children. So mom and dad talking to their kids. They say, time for bed. Time for bed. When we're talking to, our other adults, to other friends, we usually just say, bedtime. I think it's bedtime. Or bedtime, I think. So, for example, you and your friends, you go on a trip together. So, you take a plane, you go to Dubai, and you're out partying all night. You feel like you're getting tired. It's 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and you feel like you're getting tired. And you tell your buddy, you tell your friend, hey, I think it's bedtime. I think we should go back and sleep. Or you can switch this around. You can say bedtime, comma. So bedtime, I think. Bedtime, I think. You can use it as a suggestion, or, I think we should go sleep. Okay? Another way you can, this topic of sleeping when you're tired, there's a lot of expressions you can use to talk about it. Another way you can say I need to sleep is I can't keep my eyes open. I can't keep my eyes open. So, you get home, you're really tired after a long day at work, you say, I'm exhausted. I can't keep my eyes open. This means I need to sleep, okay? I'm falling asleep. You're driving and you feel like you're really tired, you're getting sleepy. You look at your friend over and you say, hey, I can't keep my eyes open. Can you drive for a bit? Okay? Or you can say, it's past my bedtime. So if you're at a party and it's 1 a.m., it's 2 a.m., and you want to leave, you go to the host, you say, hey, I need to get going. It's past my bedtime. Okay? It's past my bedtime. So, this is okay to use just to let them know, I need to get to sleep. Maybe I'm working tomorrow, okay? So you can tell them, I got to get going. It's past my bedtime. I have work tomorrow. Or I have to wake up early for some reason. You can use any of these expressions as an excuse for, leaving somewhere if it's nighttime, okay? So if you're at a party and you have to go, you go to the host, to the person who's hosting the party, and you say, hey, it's bedtime for me. I gotta go. Great party. Or you say, I can't keep my eyes open. I just gotta go home. Okay? Or you can say, it's past my bedtime. I have work tomorrow. All right? The next expression, we use it when we want to talk about when we're really exhausted. We're really, really tired. We say, I'm dead on my feet. Okay? I'm dead on my feet. So this expression means I'm so tired, I feel like I'm dead on my feet, okay? You can change the subject here and talk about somebody else. So you can say she's dead on her feet. It means she looks really tired. We usually use this expression when we just did something really hard. We just had a lot of exercises at the gym. We just did a lot of workout. And somebody's like, hey man, how do you feel? You say, I'm dead on my feet. I'm really exhausted. Or we had a long day at work and we say, I'm dead on my feet. I used up all my energy. I don't have any more energy. This is a really good expression to talk about that. So you're not necessarily sleepy. it's not because you're tired and you want to sleep, but you just don't have energy. You just feel really tired. You say, I'm dead on my feet. Now, the next expression is used when we have been doing something over a long period of time, okay? And we are just tired of doing it. You know, we have used up all of our energy doing it, or we lost the passion for it. So we say, I'm burnt out. I'm burnt out. Okay? So, for example, if you have been working a lot for the past month, you can say something like, I have worked overtime every day for the past month. I'm burnt out. I'm burnt out. This means that, you know, I'm just really tired of working all the time. Okay? I'm really tired of working all the time. We can also use this to talk about I don't have the passion anymore for doing something, okay? You know, I'm burnt out from work. I just don't feel connected to work anymore. I don't like doing it anymore. We can use this when we want to talk about, you know, I need a break. So I say, I think I need a vacation. I feel burnt out. I feel really tired. Okay? So burnt out, we use it when we want to talk about something that has been going on over a period of time, you know, usually for a couple of weeks or a month. We don't use it usually for short term. So for short term, we just say, I'm dead on my feet. If I just finished working out, I'm dead on my feet. But if I'm tired of working out, you know, I've been working out for 2 months straight now, and I'm tired of it, I say I'm burnt out, okay? So the difference between these two is dead on my feet is for short term. Burnt out is when you're talking about something that has been happening over a long term, okay? I need a vacation. I'm so burnt out. I need a break. All right? Okay, guys. So I'm going to turn on comments. And if you guys have any questions, please go ahead and ask me. For those of you who have joined me in the session, hi. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining in. I'm doing useful common English expressions A to Z. We're on our F topics, and we just went over some expressions we can use for talking about feeling tired. If you guys are just joining us today, thank you for joining us. I'm trying out having these live sessions at 5 p.m. So I had some feedback from some of you guys who said 5 p.m. is better. If there's anybody who thinks 11 a.m. is better or they like 5 p.m., let me know. So if you guys missed my previous sessions, I am in the process of posting them on YouTube. So make sure if you missed it, I think session 1 and 2 are up on YouTube right now. Make sure you check out the English Turbo YouTube. If you don't know what the link is, I have one in one of my posts. I don't know how to turn it to a link, but you know, you can copy paste it maybe. The opposite of feel full of beans. I'm not sure if I've heard that one before. Feeling full of beans. I don't know, Parvane, what that one means. I grew up in Canada, guys, so the expressions I know are mostly North American. I'm not very familiar with British expressions or Australian expressions. If you hear something from that side, I might not know it very well. But there's definitely a lot of expressions in the English language. So, you know, I don't think there's anybody who knows them all. But there's a ton of them out there. The beaming from ear to ear. So, Sally or Sully, when we want to say somebody is smiling, you know, they're laughing and smiling a lot, we say they are beaming from ear to ear. So, for example, you know, the kids are having a really good time, and, you know, we want to say they're having such a good time. You can say the children were beaming from ear to ear. Okay, so their smiles were huge on their face. So yeah, that is how we should use it. Let me see how much time we have. I think we have time to do one more topic. So I got one more topic for us in the F topics. It is when we forget things. Okay, So when we forget things and we want to talk about it, we can use these expressions. So I am going to turn off the comments for now. I'm going to talk about some expressions we can use for forgetting things. Then I will turn them back on, and you guys can ask me questions if you have any. All right, here we go. So sometimes, we can't remember something because it happened a long time ago, or we just forget to do something, and we want to talk about it. We can use some of these expressions. So the first one is really easy. I can't remember. Now, if it's something important we forgot, it's usually good to be apologetic about it, okay? So it's usually good to say, I'm afraid I can't remember. I'm afraid I can't remember. When we say I'm afraid I can't remember, it means I'm sorry I can't remember. I'm sorry I can't remember something. So for example, your friend gives you their sunglasses and you borrow the sunglasses. Next week they ask you, hey, can you give me back my sunglasses? You say, oh, shoot. Sorry, man. I'm afraid I can't remember where I put them. I'll look for them. I'm afraid I can't remember. So we're saying, I'm sorry. I don't remember where I put them, okay? Or you meet somebody for the first time, and then next month, when you see them again, you can't remember their name. And you want to be apologetic about it, right? You don't want to say, hey, I forgot your name. So what you say is, hi, I'm afraid I can't remember your name. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. What was your name again? Okay, so I'm afraid I can't remember. We can use it by itself. If somebody asks you, hey, what was your password for this site? You say, I can't remember. I'm afraid I can't remember my password. The next expression is used usually for something that happened a really long time ago, or something that wasn't very important to us. We say, I completely forgotten. I have completely forgotten. I've completely forgotten. So maybe we had an appointment and we forget about it. Our friend calls us up and he says, hey, where are you, man? You were supposed to be here 20 minutes ago. You say, oh, I completely forgotten. It slipped my mind. I completely forgot about it. We can use this when there's something we should have remembered, but we don't remember anything about it. Maybe we met somebody and we don't remember meeting them. We say, hey, nice to meet you. They say, oh, we already met. Say, oh, I'm sorry. I've completely forgotten that. Okay. I have no recollection. I don't remember anything about it. Maybe you watched a movie a long time ago and your friend asks you, how was this movie? What do you think about it? You're like, I've completely forgotten everything there is about that movie. I don't know anything about it, okay? Very useful expression for anything that you want to say you don't remember anything. Usually it's things that happened a long time ago or things that weren't very important. Now, sometimes something embarrassing happens to somebody and you want to pretend like you don't remember, and you can use this expression. So, for example, maybe your friend slipped and fell down in the mud. And the next week, somebody, they're talking about, hey, you remember when I fell down? You're like, no, I've completely forgotten about that. It was embarrassing. I forgot about it. Okay, the next expression is for when there is, we're thinking of something, but we just can't recall it. It's not that we forgot it. We just can't remember it right in that second. For example, with your password, sometimes, you know your password. You don't forget your password. But sometimes you can't remember exactly what it was. You say, my mind's gone blank. My mind's gone blank. Another good example of this is when you're talking about movies and movie stars. So, your friend asks you, hey, who was the girl that played in Friends? You say, oh, I know her, but my mind's gone blank. I can't recall it right now, but I know it. Okay. So, what was the name of that restaurant we went to last week? My mind's gone blank. I can't recall right now. Usually we use this expression when we know something. We know that we know it, but when we're thinking about it, we can't remember it. It's like it's on the tip of our tongue. We know it, but we can't remember it. Sometimes we can use this when we're talking about, English language. We say, I know the word, but my mind's gone blank right now. Somebody asks you, hey, what's the word we use for, when we want to talk about, something, when we want to talk about going to school, what's the word we use? You're like, I know it, but my mind's gone blank. I can't think of anything. The next expression is very similar to I've completely forgotten. This is more apologetic to use. So I have no memory of, or sorry, I have no memory of. Okay. So we can use this expression in similar sort of situations. Usually when we say I have no memory of, what we're saying is maybe it didn't happen. For example, if you park your car somewhere and you get a parking ticket, and then you go to pay your insurance and they say you have to pay your tickets, you say, I have no memory of that ticket. What? That didn't happen, right? I have no memory of it. Or for some reason you're really tired and you talk to somebody, and then the next day they call you, you're like, hey, we had a really good talk last night. You're like, oh, I have no memory of that. Sorry, I have no memory of that. I was really tired. Okay. This is different from your mind going blank, because when your mind goes blank, you know something, you just can't recall it right then. When you have no memory of something, it means there's absolutely nothing there. You don't even think it happened. Okay. The next one is when somebody asks you if you remember something, you can use this expression if you don't remember. You say, it doesn't ring a bell, or I'm afraid it doesn't ring a bell. So if you want to apologize to them, if you want to say, sorry, I don't remember, I'm afraid it doesn't ring a bell. So, when somebody tells you their name, they say, hey, you say, hey, nice to meet you. They say, no, we met before. I'm Tom. You're like, I'm afraid it doesn't ring a bell. Your name doesn't ring a bell. I don't remember it. The expression ringing a bell means when something triggers your mind, when you hear a word and your mind gets triggered so you remember something. We say it rings a bell. So I'm afraid it doesn't ring a bell means, I don't recall anything about what you're asking me. So for example, your girlfriend asks you, hey, remember that really cool restaurant we went to, 2 weeks ago? You say, I'm afraid it doesn't ring a bell. I don't remember going to a restaurant. Or, remember what that movie we saw, the name of it was, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like, it doesn't ring a bell. I don't think I've seen that movie. It doesn't ring a bell. The next expression is a very formal expression for saying you don't remember something, very similar to I have no memory of, or I've completely forgotten about something. If you want to say this in a writing or in a formal setting, like at work, you say, I have no recollection of whatever. Okay? I've no recollection of. So your boss comes into your room and says, hey, why didn't you hand in those reports I told you, last week? You say, I have no recollection of, this conversation. I have no recollection of you asking me for the reports. Okay? So if you don't remember something happening, you say, I have no recollection of. It's a very formal way. So you use it when you're talking to, your boss at your job. When you're writing, very formal way of saying you don't remember something. So I have no recollection of meeting you. I have no recollection of that movie. I don't remember anything about it. Now, sometimes you forget to do something. For example, you're supposed to pick up the kids after school. And your wife calls you, is like, hey, why didn't you pick up the kids? The principal called me. You say, oh, sorry, I forgot. Sorry, I forgot. I forgot I have to do this. So whenever you forget to do something, you can use this to apologize for it. Your boss comes in. Your boss is like, why didn't you hand in those reports? Sorry, boss, I forgot. Sorry, I forgot. A better way of saying it in a formal setting is, I simply forgot to do it. I simply forgot to do it. You're explaining why you didn't do something. You forgot to do it. Why didn't you pick up the kids? I simply forgot to do it. Why didn't you hand in the reports? I simply forgot to do it. Why didn't you call grandma? I simply forgot to do it. I was supposed to call her, but I forgot to do it. Okay? Now, another way we can say this in a less casual, in a less formal setting, in a more casual setting, is, oh no, it completely slipped my mind. It completely slipped my mind. It's kind of similar to drawing a blank. My mind is blank. When we say it completely slipped my mind, it means I forgot about it. Okay. So why didn't you pick up the kids? It completely slipped my mind. I was really busy and it slipped my mind. Why didn't you call grandma? It slipped my mind. It completely slipped my mind. Okay, I forgot about it. The next expression, we use it when we just forget what we were up to doing. Okay, what we were doing right now. We say, what was I thinking of? What was I thinking of? We're talking about something, somebody cuts us off and we forget what we were thinking of. You're like, hey, what was I thinking of? What was I about to do? Or maybe it's really late at night and we're tired and, our thoughts get interrupted. Afterwards, we're like, what was I thinking of? So when you are in the middle of a thought, and for some reason it gets interrupted, you can use this expression, what was I thinking of, to try and figure out, what you were thinking when you forget what you were thinking. Okay, so these are all really good expressions you can use when you don't remember something, when you forget something. In a very formal setting, you can use I have no recollection of, just to say that you don't remember anything. If you were supposed to do something and you forget to do it, you can say, I simply forgot to do it, or it slipped my mind, it completely slipped my mind. If you're just talking about something that happened in the past and you don't really remember, it doesn't ring a bell, it doesn't trigger my mind. Or if something is on the tip of your tongue, you know it, but you can't remember it, you say, my mind's gone blank. My mind's gone blank. I'm drawing a blank. And you can always use simply, I can't remember, or I forgot. Okay? All right, guys. So I'm going to turn on comments. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask them. So as you guys know, today our session was at 5 p.m. It looks like there's a lot of people who are saying that they like the sessions to be at 5 p.m. So tomorrow I'm going to have the session at 5 p.m. again. Please join me tomorrow if you guys enjoy these sessions. I love to see you guys here talking to me. So tomorrow's session will be at 5 p.m. It won't be at 11 a.m. If you can, please join me. If you can't catch my video, it will be on Instagram for 24 hours. It'll get posted on YouTube at some point in the future. I can't tell you exactly when. The guy who does it is really busy, but it will get posted at some point. I'm going to post my notes in my story. So don't worry, about taking notes in these sessions. I'm going to post them all in my story, and I'm going to also highlight it. This was session 11, so if you need to find the notes, it'll be titled session 11 something. I think we are done with our F topics. I can't really remember if I have anything else for F. I don't think I do. So tomorrow we're probably going to start with our G topics. I don't think there's too many of those, but we're probably going to start with our G topics, and then we'll see how far we can get. Thank you guys very much for joining me today. I hope you guys are having a really great day. Look up for completely slipped my mind. Yeah, you can use this, if you forget about the live session being on at 5 p.m., you can say, oh man, it completely slipped my mind. I forgot you were going to have it live today. That's exactly how you use it. So if you guys enjoy these sessions, please join me tomorrow at 5 p.m. Let your friends know if there's anybody who's learning English. I would love to have them here, and we can, I would love to see more of you guys in here so we can have more questions and more of a conversation. Okay, so guys, take good care of yourselves. Go check out the other live sessions that are happening by the other instructors. I think the next one is Dr. Speaking at 7 o'clock, I think. So go ahead and check out the highlight I have of the schedule. You'll see Dr. Speaking on there. Go to his page, follow him. He's got really good live sessions. He does interviews and things like that. So, go check him out. Thank you guys very much for joining me. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day.